Hello girls, gays, and non-binary babes. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are unhauling some books. So I unhaul fairly regularly. If you are not new to my channel, you know that. But like twice a year I do an unhaul video. So I do one right before my bookshelf reorganization in December/January. And I also do one in the springtime, my spring cleaning unhaul. So I've got, I think, 10 books here, and I'm unhauling not too many. I am slowly curating my shelves to what I love, so as time goes on, there will probably be less and less that I'm unhauling, hopefully. Anyway, we're gonna jump into it. Before we do, though, I do want to mention, if you see any of these books and you're like, that sounds interesting, I am interested in that, I do have a Depop where these will all be listed, hopefully, by the time this video is up, if not very soon after, and I will put my Depop name or link in the description when the books are up, so that you can check them out. I do ship with free shipping, so keep that in mind. Yeah, just figured I would mention that. So, without any further ado, let's jump into it. So, I guess we'll start in, I don't know where to start. We'll start with this, I guess, these two. So the first book that I am unhauling is Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. I really loved this when I first read it. I actually bought this at BookCon 2-3 years ago. I don't even remember how long ago it was now, but the last BookCon that was a thing. But I really loved it. It's just not really my thing anymore. I am not really into YA fantasy as much as I was, and as good as this was, I probably won't reread it. It is a like a Viking kind of story, and this girl is like outcast, I think. She's her father's chosen heir, and there's this coming of age trial that she has to do, and it's sabotaged, and then she's banished to the wilderness with I think some other guy, and then she has to kill the god of their like village before she can come back, and it's pretty much impossible. So it was really good, but I just don't really love YA fantasy anymore, so yeah, not my jam anymore, so I am going to unhaul it. Next up is another YA fantasy, and that is The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. I loved this when I first read it. I actually read an arc and then bought my own copy, so I think that's saying something, as I really like this. But again, YA fantasy, not really my jam. This is about a girl. Oh, she's a crow, which means she's basically like the janitor of the city, and she has to like clean up, I think like dead bodies and stuff. But there's like tooth magic, which is super interesting. But again, YA fantasy, not really my jam anymore, so yeah, unhauling this one as well. Moving into, the rest are all actually adult except for one. So we'll talk about the last YA book that I have, and that is Fatal Throne by a bunch of different authors. This is a kind of like an anthology of the 6 wives of Henry VIII, and it tells like each of their individual stories. It was really, really good when I read it, but again, don't see myself rereading it. It's kind of like one of those history things where you learn it and it's like a one and done kind of situation. I do still really love this cover. I'm sad to see it go, but I do want to make room on my shelves for books that I love, 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 and want to reread, and this one I just won't be. So again, really good, really fascinating, especially if you want to know the backstories of these wives, and a little bit of like a feminist take on it. And yeah, again, really liked it, just won't be rereading. So now the rest we have are all adult. I'm gonna start with probably the most controversial on this list, I guess. I don't know. I will be unhauling The Steel Prince by V.E. Schwab. This is the graphic novel. I think it's like, I don't know if it's a continuation. I don't think it's a continuation of the Shades of Magic series. It's a prequel. I don't know. But I'm unhauling it. I am not a fan of this artwork. I'm very particular when it comes to the artwork in graphic novels, and this is just not my jam. I did try reading it, but I just didn't love it, so I'm not unhaul it. Every time I see it on my shelves, I am like, why do I still own that? I'm never going to read it. I wish I did like it, because I do love the Shades of Magic series, but alas, here we are. Next we'll do some sci-fi. So I think I unhauled these previously, but then I unhauled them, and now we are unhauling them. So that would be Sleeping Giants and Waking Gods by Sylvain Neuvel. This is a trilogy that I actually really like, but I think if I ever reread these, on the slim chance that I do, I would listen to the audiobooks, because they are told in like files, I guess, and interviews. Very, very good series. If you're interested in these, I definitely recommend you check them out because they are very good. I just don't think I'm going to be rereading them. So this is about the first book at least is about a girl who is riding her bike one day and she stumbles into this pit and she finds like a giant metal hand. And so then she becomes a scientist because she wants to figure out what the hell this hand is, and she discovers some things. So love this series, but again, I'll probably listen to the audiobooks if I ever reread them. But these, honestly, these covers are just gorgeous. Like, look at this. Honestly, it's just the hardcovers that have this, but when you take the dust jacket off, it's like cut out. This is cut out, and that's like so pretty. Like, I'm obsessed. But yeah, again, I'll just probably listen to the audiobooks. So we're gonna get rid of those. Also, the editions are different. Like, this is a small paperback, and that's a tall hardcover, and they don't look good on my shelves. So next, we'll do my contemporaries. So next I have Valentine by Elizabeth Wetmore. This is a book about a, what's it called? Oil mining business that comes to this town, and all of the things that happen when it does. So this revolves solely around sexual assault, and as amazing as this book was, and as, you know, as much as I think everybody should read it, it was very hard to read, and I don't want to put myself through that again. Stories about sexual assault, at least for me, are like another one and done kind of thing. Like, I don't think I'd get any enjoyment, like pure enjoyment, out of rereading this. It would just make me sad again, so yeah. Next we have another book, stuff all over it, Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. Again, I loved this book when I read it. I loved the movie when I watched it. I actually watched the movie on my way back, either my way to or from Amsterdam when I went to visit, and it got me through some anxiety, so shout out to the movie. But I just won't be rereading this. It was an amazing story. I really liked it. It was fun. It was interesting. Won't be rereading. This is about a woman who, it's like so complex, kind of. She gets into all these different fights with her neighbor, and she's kind of like a bitch, and then she just disappears. And her family, her daughter and her husband are like, where'd you go, Bernadette? And there's like so much more to it, but it's kind of hard to explain. I just am not big into contemporaries, so I don't really reread them much, so we're gonna get rid of that one. The last contemporary we have is actually a classic, I think. It was on my classic shelf, But that is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. I read this for the first time in school and I really liked it, so I bought myself a copy and then reread it. It was still really good. I think I give it 5 stars, but I probably won't reread it. It is about a man who is disabled and he's in this like scientific trial for it's very vague. Okay, yeah, born with an unusually low IQ, he has been chosen as the perfect subject for an experimental surgery that researchers hope will increase his intelligence. And it follows his intelligence, like, I think he's writing like letters, or like it's like a journal, I don't know. But it follows that, and also this mouse named Algernon, who is also like part of the surgery. He was like the little mouse that they experimented on. Very good. However, I would like to get my disabled rep from Own Voices authors, preferably. So I don't plan on rereading this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, the last 2 books I have are nonfiction. So the next one is Columbine by Dave Cullen. This is a big old book about what happened at Columbine and what happened after, kind of like the effects of it. Very interesting, especially if you are interested in like gun control and stuff like that. Very good, very good. But again, kind of something where like, again, it's like a one and done. Like, you learn the information, you're like, okay, yes, but I can't see myself ever rereading this 400-page book again. So yeah, as good as it was, I am going to unhaul it so that maybe somebody else can learn something from it. I think that would be awesome. So yeah, we'll be unhauling this. And the final book I have is just a little book, and that is Wikipedia. This is by Sean Robbins and Leanna Greenway. This is the Modern Day White Witch's Guide. I started reading this and I did not like it. I think there was like too much angel talk in it for me, and I don't really do angels. So I'm like, this is not my jam, not what I'm interested in. So I don't feel the need to continue. So I know this is pretty popular. Like, I think this book is one of the best-selling Wicca books, so I have nothing against that. It's just not really for me personally. So again, we'll be unhauling. I have no idea as to exactly what the contents are. I think it's just about a bunch of different witchcraft stuff, Wicca stuff. So yeah, we'll be unhauling that. And that concludes my unhaul. Thank you so much for watching, if you did watch this far. And if you did watch this far, leave me a yellow heart in the comments. And yeah, I will hopefully see you guys very, very soon. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!